In a world where fame often masks the deepest personal struggles, there are moments that remind us that celebrities, despite their glamorous lives, are human beings capable of experiencing heartbreak and loss just like anyone else. Recently, the world has been shaken by reports surrounding Porsha Williams, a beloved reality star known for her vibrant energy, infectious laughter, and undeniable charisma. According to multiple reports circulating online, Porsha may be navigating a deeply painful personal loss. While the specifics remain unconfirmed and are being shared with caution, the story has struck a chord with fans, igniting conversations across social media and leaving many grappling with a mixture of grief, curiosity, and empathy. This isn't just celebrity news. This is a human story, one that highlights the fragility of life, the complexities of relationships, and the emotional weight that even public figures carry behind closed doors. For those who follow Porsha closely, the thought of her experiencing personal tragedy is almost unimaginable. She has always presented herself as a woman of strength, resilience, and joy, lighting up every room she enters. But behind the scenes, sources suggest that Porsha is enduring a period of profound sadness, grappling with emotions that are difficult to comprehend. Friends reportedly describe her as quiet, introspective, and profoundly affected by the loss, spending long hours alone, reflecting on what has happened, and trying to come to terms with a reality that seems painfully unfair. Imagining this kind of heartbreak is not easy. It's the sort of grief that goes beyond tears and sadness, entering a territory where the heart feels broken in ways that words can scarcely describe. For fans and onlookers, seeing someone they admire so publicly struggle reminds us that no amount of fame or fortune can shield anyone from the raw, human experiences of life, loss, and sorrow. Alongside Porsha, her partner, Todd Tucker, has reportedly been navigating his own wave of grief. According to sources close to the couple, Todd has spent private moments overcome with emotion, struggling to reconcile his love for Porsha with the depth of sadness that has entered their lives. The dynamic between the two is described as deeply intertwined, a partnership built on love and mutual support, yet now tested by circumstances that feel both devastating and incomprehensible. The public may witness snippets of their lives through reality TV and social media, but what happens behind closed doors is far more personal, far more raw, and far more heart-wrenching than any headline could ever capture. It's a stark reminder that grief is not linear, that it can hit unexpectedly, and that even those who seem unshakable are often quietly carrying burdens invisible to the world. The response from fans and followers has been immediate and emotional. Social media platforms have been flooded with messages of support, expressions of heartbreak, and stories from viewers who have personally experienced loss. The public reaction reflects a collective empathy, a shared recognition of human fragility, and a willingness to feel alongside someone who, despite their fame, is enduring profound pain. Every post, comment, and tweet adds to the emotional intensity of the situation, reminding us of the power of social media to amplify not just news, but feelings, solidarity, and concern. Yet, amid the support, speculation has also emerged. Some fans are scrutinizing interactions, posts, and past moments, attempting to understand the context and causes of the reported heartbreak. Others are simply offering condolences and love, recognizing that some experiences are deeply private and cannot be fully understood from the outside. This duality of empathy and speculation captures the complexity of following a public figure through personal tragedy. It also underscores how quickly emotion can spread in the digital age, creating a viral storm of concern, curiosity, and at times misunderstanding. At the center of this response is a palpable sense of shock. Fans who have long admired Porsha for her energy, humor, and resilience are grappling with the idea that someone so vibrant could be facing a heartbreak so profound. It's a reminder that life is unpredictable, that joy and sorrow can exist side by side, and that even those who appear unbreakable can be confronted with moments that feel challenging their strength in ways that feel insurmountable. For viewers, this story is not just entertainment or gossip, it is a reflection of the universal human experience of loss, grief, and emotional vulnerability. Complicating the story, multiple reports have surfaced regarding a longtime colleague, Kandi Burruss, who some sources claim may have been involved in moments of tension with Porsha in the months leading up to this personal tragedy. Past seasons of reality television reportedly contained subtle disagreements, playful jabs, and occasional clashes that at the time seemed minor or even inconsequential. However, in light of recent events, these moments are being re-examined by fans and insiders who are now questioning whether underlying tensions could have contributed to emotional strain.
While these claims remain unverified, the mere suggestion has fueled a whirlwind of speculation online. Texts, private exchanges, and reported behind-the-scenes interactions are being dissected, analyzed, and debated across social media platforms. Some fans believe that interpersonal conflicts may have exacerbated stress during an already difficult period, while others argue that tragedy can strike regardless of personal dynamics and that the timing of these conflicts is coincidental. What is clear, however, is that the combination of personal loss and perceived conflict has created a narrative that is both emotionally charged and virally compelling. Every leaked snippet, every alleged comment, every subtle glance is now being scrutinized for hidden meaning, adding layers of tension, speculation, and suspense to an already heart-wrenching story. For Porsha and Todd, the public nature of their lives compounds the private grief they are experiencing. Friends reportedly describe Porsha as navigating a fog of sorrow, attempting to reconcile the life she envisioned with the reality she is now facing. Every memory of joy, every imagined milestone, every dream of the future has been overshadowed by pain. According to sources, she clings to Todd for comfort, yet even in moments of intimacy, the grief remains palpable, a constant presence that neither can fully escape. Todd's own struggle is similarly intense, as he is said to spend hours trying to console Porsha while simultaneously managing his own overwhelming emotions. The depth of their combined grief is described as staggering, a testament to the profound love they share and the equally profound heartbreak that life can sometimes deliver. Behind closed doors, the couple reportedly experiences moments that are almost unbearable to witness. Friends have said that Todd holds Porsha in silence, whispering words of reassurance, even as tears stream down both of their faces. These intimate moments, though private, speak volumes about the depth of their connection, their vulnerability, and the human capacity to endure unimaginable emotional pain. The public may only see fragments of this journey, but the intensity of their experience resonates universally, a reminder that grief, loss, and heartbreak are not bound by fame, circumstance, or visibility. While the heart of this story is one of personal loss, the surrounding speculation has intensified the narrative. Rumors regarding alleged confrontations, miscommunications, or disagreements with colleagues have become a focal point for fans attempting to make sense of the tragedy. Social media is awash with commentary, some sympathetic, some skeptical, and some intensely scrutinizing every detail. This duality, where grief meets speculation, creates a complex landscape for Porsha and Todd to navigate. Every post, every whispered rumor, every perceived slight is now being magnified under the public eye. Insiders suggest that small interactions which may have seemed insignificant in the past are now being re-evaluated in light of recent events. While the truth of these claims may never be fully revealed, the combination of heartbreak and speculation produces a narrative that is both emotionally compelling and socially viral.
For viewers, this situation raises questions about the nature of fame, the intensity of public scrutiny, and the delicate balance between empathy and curiosity. It also highlights the ethical challenges of consuming celebrity news, how to honor privacy while trying to understand a story that has captured the public's imagination. To truly grasp the weight of this story, it helps to step into the emotional world of those involved. Imagine planning a future filled with joy, love, and hope, only to have it unexpectedly derailed. Imagine carrying dreams of milestones, laughter, and shared experiences, only to face a reality that feels cruel and incomprehensible. For Porsha, this is not hypothetical. This is her lived experience, a painful reality that she must navigate every day. For Todd, it is equally difficult, loving someone deeply while witnessing their pain, desperate to provide comfort, yet struggling with feelings of helplessness. These are moments that transcend celebrity headlines. They are raw, unfiltered, and intensely human. And while fans may only see fragments through social media and reports, the underlying emotions, grief, heartbreak, confusion, and vulnerability resonate universally. In many ways, this story reminds us that emotional pain is not measured by public visibility. It does not discriminate. It can affect anyone at any time, regardless of circumstance, status, or success. The combination of personal tragedy, alleged interpersonal conflict, and public attention has created a perfect storm for viral engagement. Fans are both empathetic and intensely curious, trying to decode every detail while sharing messages of love and support. Social media has become a mirror reflecting the collective emotional investment of the audience, where speculation, concern, and empathy coexist in a sometimes overwhelming mix.
This phenomenon is not new in the age of reality television, but what makes this story different is the emotional intensity at its core. The heartbreak is not just dramatic television, it is profoundly real. Viewers are witnessing the emotional struggle of individuals who are facing events that most people hope to avoid entirely. Every post, every comment, every discussion online contributes to the ongoing narrative, amplifying the raw emotion and creating a sense of shared experience among fans and observers alike. Porsha is pregnant, and the father is none other than Todd. But this isn't just a story about pregnancy. This isn't about the joy of new life or the happiness of family milestones. This is about strategy, deception, and emotional warfare. It is about secrets long buried, meticulously planned moves, and the explosive consequences when hidden truths finally come to light. And the world is watching, captivated, horrified, and unable to look away as this narrative continues to unfold in real time. What many viewers initially dismissed as playful rivalry between Kandi and Porsha was in reality the opening act of a deeply calculated drama. On camera, it appeared as subtle shade, a few awkward moments, or minor disagreements that reality TV audiences were accustomed to. Off camera, however, a secret war had been quietly brewing. Kandi, always poised, confident, and seemingly untouchable, was hiding a deeply personal secret, a clandestine lesbian affair that no one in the Bravo universe had ever anticipated. While audiences were distracted by smiles and staged confrontations, Porsha was quietly studying every vulnerability, every interaction, and every potential leverage point. Todd, emotionally compromised by his proximity to Kandi's secret life, became the perfect target for Porsha's calculated moves. What followed was not just a story of love or lust, it was a story of revenge, meticulously planned and executed with precision. Every interaction, every private conversation, every secret meeting between Porsha and Todd was calculated to ensure maximum impact when revealed, and the fallout has been catastrophic. The pregnancy, when announced, was no longer merely a private milestone. It became a weapon in a game of emotional dominance, a symbol of both betrayal and control. Todd, caught between his genuine feelings, guilt, and public scrutiny, found himself trapped in a situation spiraling far beyond anything he could have anticipated. Kandi, blindsided, emotionally devastated, and publicly humiliated, now faced the full weight of both personal betrayal and the intense gaze of a global audience. And Tasha K, as the revealing voice behind the chaos, had inserted herself into the center of a story that would redefine the Bravo narrative forever. Porsha's actions were not random or impulsive. They were precise, deliberate, and designed for maximum effect. She understood the vulnerabilities of those around her and carefully orchestrated a plan that would allow her to rise in power, disrupt the dynamics of the Bravo universe, and assert herself as the central figure in a scandal that would capture the public's imagination. Each meeting with Todd, every text exchanged, every subtle conversation was a step in a broader strategy. She transformed what might have been simple interactions into instruments of emotional manipulation. Her pregnancy amplified the strategy, creating a narrative that combined personal milestones with public spectacle, ensuring that her ascent would not only be noticed, but debated, dissected, and scrutinized endlessly. The impact on Todd, Kandi, and fans could not have been more profound. The emotional stakes escalated, leaving no participant untouched by the consequences of her actions. Fans immediately exploded online. Hashtags such as Porsha Pregnant, Todd Secret, Bravo Scandal, and Kandi Exposed flooded platforms. Each post, clip, and screenshot became evidence, sparking debate, outrage, and relentless speculation. Viewers across the globe debated whether this was genuine love, a calculated strategy, or a combination of both. Todd's vulnerability, Kandi's heartbreak, and Porsha's strategic brilliance all merged into a narrative that blurred the lines between personal tragedy and calculated entertainment. Once perceived as the stable, unshakable figure, Todd now finds himself exposed, publicly scrutinized, and emotionally trapped. Every decision, every secret meeting, every interaction with Porsha is under the microscope. Fans dissect each moment as though preparing a case against him. Guilt, confusion, and regret dominate his life, leaving him conflicted between his feelings, moral obligations, and public perception. The emotional toll of being manipulated while simultaneously being held accountable by millions of fans is staggering. Todd's mistakes, vulnerabilities, and lapses in judgment have left him defenseless against a storm of public judgment, and the consequences of his actions will ripple through both his personal and professional life for years to come. The tragedy of Todd's situation is amplified by the pregnancy itself. What should have been a private, celebratory moment has transformed into a weaponized symbol of betrayal and strategic manipulation. He is caught in a triangle of deception where personal choices, emotional manipulation, and public exposure converge in a devastatingly public spectacle. Fans cannot help but feel the weight of every decision he made, watching his vulnerability unravel live on social media and Bravo forums alike. Kandi, blindsided by the affair, Porsha's manipulation, and Todd's complicity, has been forced into a position of unimaginable emotional trauma. Public humiliation is compounded by personal betrayal, creating a scenario in which every moment captured on camera contrasts painfully with her internal devastation. Her carefully curated Bravo persona she maintained for years has crumbled, exposing her deepest vulnerabilities. Her heartbreak is not only emotional but strategic. She is navigating a landscape where trust, reputation, and personal integrity are all under assault. Fans watching can feel the raw pain, the disappointment, and the sense of betrayal as she attempts to process events that were orchestrated and executed with precision by those around her.
The public scrutiny only intensifies the personal trauma. Every smile, every gesture, every controlled interaction is dissected online, creating a digital courtroom where Kandi's every move and every reaction is analyzed, debated, and judged. This is more than heartbreak. It is a multi-layered tragedy in which her life, reputation, and relationships are being pulled apart in real time, leaving audiences captivated by both the drama and the devastating emotional toll. Amid the chaos, Tasha K has emerged as a relentless force, the faceless journalist who exposes truths no one else dares touch. Her meticulous reporting, fearless uncovering of hidden relationships, and ability to reveal secrets without hesitation has turned what could have been simple Bravo gossip into a global phenomenon. Every revelation she drops intensifies the scandal, amplifies the heartbreak, and keeps audiences on the edge of their seats. She has effectively turned a private triangle of betrayal into a worldwide conversation, forcing fans to confront not only the shocking betrayals, but the raw human emotions behind them. Fans dissect every piece of information she releases, analyzing motives, strategies, and consequences as if participating in a live trial. Every leaked text, every confrontation, every private message becomes evidence. Every post fuels further speculation, drawing viewers deeper into the narrative of manipulation, heartbreak, and revenge. Tasha K has transformed the story into a spectacle of emotional intensity, and the public is helplessly captivated. The social media storm has reached unprecedented levels. Every detail, every revelation, every emotional reaction is shared, dissected, and debated. Fans worldwide have become active participants in the unfolding scandal, analyzing motives, predicting outcomes, and judging the moral and emotional consequences of each action. The pregnancy has become more than a personal milestone. It is a symbol of power, manipulation, and the far-reaching consequences of deception. Every hashtag, every viral post, every clip has amplified the narrative, making it impossible for the story to fade into the background. As this story continues to unfold, countless questions remain unanswered. What really happened behind the scenes? Was the timing of interpersonal conflicts a factor, or is this purely a tragic coincidence? Could there be private messages or exchanges that shed light on the emotional turmoil? And perhaps most importantly, how will Porsha and Todd navigate the road ahead while under the scrutiny of millions? These questions, combined with the intensity of human emotion at the center of the story, have left fans captivated. The narrative is layered, complex, and deeply moving. It is a story that blends heartbreak with speculation, private struggle with public visibility, and grief with curiosity. Every day brings the possibility of new revelations, new insights, and new waves of emotion for those following along. While we wait for more information, there is one thing we can do: honor the humanity at the center of this story. Remember that behind the headlines, behind the speculation, and behind the social media storm are two people enduring profound pain. We want to hear from you. Share your thoughts in the comments below. How do you feel about Porsha's journey, Todd's struggle, and the ongoing discussion surrounding alleged tensions? Hit the like button if this story touched you emotionally, share it with friends who want to follow the saga, and subscribe with notifications on so you don't miss the next chapter. This story is far from over. The heartbreak is ongoing, the speculation continues, and the emotional intensity remains palpable. As new details emerge, we will continue to bring you updates with empathy, care, and a recognition of the deeply human experiences at the heart of it all. For now, we watch, we reflect, and we feel alongside them, witnesses to a story of love, heartbreak, resilience, and the enduring power of the human heart.